All right, by now you may have seen the viral moment from UNC where a group of fraternity brothers faced off with a mob to protect the American flag. Joining us now, one of those fraternity brothers, UNC student, is Isaac Mala. Isaac, what motivated you to defend the flag?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. And I'll say, when we talk about motivation for the flag, the primary reason I was on that quad, right, before this ever even began to become an American issue, I was on there because I'm Jewish and I'm Orthodox, and a lot of members that were holding up that flag were. And so we were there really just kind of holding up our Israeli flags and trying to stop hate. And there's been a lot of anti-Semitism around the country. So we were there first and foremost for our country of Israel. When this becomes an American issue, that hits kind of double hard. And that really hits us both in our religious country and our home one that we really feel is deeply important to us. I've seen a lot about us being heroes or unbelievable people. It's none of that. We see a country that we love and we believe in and we stand for its values being desecrated. And we didn't want to sit by and just let it happen.
So were you trying to protect the Israeli flag or the American flag or both?
So initially, there was no protection of the Israeli flag. We just wanted the Jewish students on campus to have their voice heard. Very much like I'm here today to have my voice heard, we wanted that to be on campus as well. Mm-hmm. When the American flag became, I guess, in danger is the word you can use, when we saw that it started to be lowered and when it began to be ripped off, especially on a day where 4 officers were shot and killed less than 2 hours away from campus, right? We have a flag that's hanging at half-mast because those that commit their lives to serve our country and to serve our states are being shot down and killed. That's the flag you're going to rip down? Absolutely not. Not on that day. And so I'm honestly very proud of our administration because they shut it down immediately, and I'm very thankful for that.
So, Isaac, I want to show viewers what everything looked like from your angle. This is a video from one of your buddies. Watch. Fascist? Wait a second. Do they understand how stupid that sounds? So wait, as a Jewish student, you're a fascist. Okay. I mean, these are just dumb people. I'm sorry. They're not bright people. And I know you're graduating as a junior, which is impressive, but these people haven't read a book, it sounds like, or they don't know basic history.
Laura, I was called a Nazi today. So, I don't really understand how that makes any sense, to be completely honest. None of this makes sense to me. This is a country that has given people the ability to protest and to have their voice heard. And I wholeheartedly respect that, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of whether or not you believe what I believe. That's not what matters. And yet, when we do that and when we try to protect the flag we love, my friend stands next to me, has a water bottle hit in his face, still has a black eye and is bleeding. I really don't get it.
Isaac, thank you for joining us and telling this story tonight. And thank you for doing what you did. We really appreciate it. All right, why can't President Trump talk about his trial, but Michael Cohen, Joe Biden, they can. The latest from
Hello. Sorry, we are muted there. Sorry.
What's up? Hello, Michael.
Hello, everyone.
That was hilarious.
That was something. That was fun. Talking head there, telling us how stupid we are. Pretty interesting.
And people call him a hero. That's what he said.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking? When I'm seeing them all touching that flag like that, the word that came to mind is idolatry. And isn't it ironic for them? It's like they're touching that golden calf or something.
That quasi-stolen valor he has there. And I don't know why they act like, I mean, it's just a flag. It's just a flag. There's nothing, I don't know. That just gets on my nerves. And then he says something about double, he's being offended doubly. And I'm like, yeah, because you probably have dual citizenship. Well, not probably. He does.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it would.
Double the offense for double the standards that you hold for yourselves.
Yes, 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 yes.
What's up, John
So,
Kemper?
welcome everyone in the chat. And John Kemper, I love you back.
Rondo says, most hyperbolic people on the face of the planet. Not a hyperbolic comment.
I mean, they know how to play a victim, boy.
Yeah.
Whew.
But
I
it's
love
getting to be that tiniest violin in the world now. So,
I love this little meme that goes around on Facebook, where it's like this they kind of look homeless with a little cup, and they're like, "Can I get a crumb of that oppression?"
yeah, the Oppression Olympics. Eh?
Oppression Olympics. Yes, Rhonda, the little boy is a fool. So, hello everybody in the chat. Welcome back, and you too, Michael. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. Good to be back. You did a great show last week.
Thank you.
Tuned in as soon as I got home from work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I tried to
I
hold
guess
it down.
it was Cinco de Mayo last week, so that kind of explains a bit why they wanted more all hands on deck for the food prep.
I see.
And also, I learned it was
But
Karl
still,
Marx's birthday on May 5th. So, happy birthday, Karl Marx.
oh, my eye. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a. Oh, I can use this map.
No worries, we can
My
just.
eye is like burning. But look, what I tried to play for you last week that no one could hear. I don't know why, but I'm gonna play it for you this week,
Thank you.
and hopefully I'll give you a little laugh. So let's see.
Be submitting PTO for December 17th and 18th.
Just submit it on the request form. I don't know if I'll be able to approve it.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Veronica, it's Janet.
Oh, hey, Janet.
I see you're not in today. Is there a reason?
Yeah, no, I told you I wasn't going to be in today or tomorrow.
I do remember the conversation, but I told you to put it on the form.
Oh, yeah, no, I know you wanted me to submit it on the request form, and I did. But it was more of a letting you know that I wasn't going to be there versus a request because I work all year and I save up my PTO and I should be able to use it when I need it.
Veronica, you know that we're very short-staffed right now.
And I also know that you guys have interviewed about 7 people and you're just being super picky. So the fact that you're short-staffed really shouldn't fall back on me.
I mean, you're already out today, so I can't do anything about that, but I really, really need you to come in tomorrow.
I won't be in tomorrow. Hello?
Veronica.
Hello?
Veronica, hello, Veronica.
We're cutting out. That's funny. Glad to hear the audio this time.
Wait, I still have audio going. I don't know where it's coming from. There we go.
All right, cool.
There we go.
Yeah, that about sums it up. Pretty much everywhere.
Yep. I had gotten a job at Chili's because I wanted to bartend, and I thought Chili's would be a good place to practice. And I've been working there for a while. Thank you, Mama. No. It's okay. Thank you. I've been working there for a while, and oh, okay, Mom. Okay. Sorry, guys. My mom. Anyway,
It's all good.
at Chili's, I was been working there for a while. Okay, and I had told them I needed to take Wednesday off. They put me on the schedule on purpose for the Wednesday. So I just didn't show up and I never came back. because you don't respect me. Because I would never take off. I would always like have to stay after my shift waiting for the other bartender. Like you can't leave until the other bartender shows up.
Mhm.
And I was being respectful, and sometimes it'd be 2 hours. So you can't, if you can't return the favor, then
Yeah. Those of you who work the 9 to 5 jobs, you don't quite maybe understand how the restaurant industry. First of all, you don't get paid very much, but then second of all, your schedules very much belongs to someone else, and your hours are not preferable. So, hello, retro gamer.
I think he's out. He's in and he's out. So
Thanks for the like. Good opportunity. Like, share, subscribe, and all of that fun stuff.
yeah, we gotta check on those schedules. We need to ask
Yeah,
for a
I
list.
should keep in mind though. I think there might be part of my employment contract. I'm not sure if this is becoming a standard. Um, I have to be careful with my words as far as to not be potentially saying something negative about the company, sort of thing. I have to review my little contract there. Just a little disclaimer there, okay?
How is he multi-listening?
I'm doing that sometimes. That's like only ADD people do this. I feel like.
Oh, that would drive me insane. Well, let's talk fascism, shall we?
Sure.
You know, I was looking at our title, right? The slippery slope into fascism. And I just
uh,
wanted to ask you, like, I mean, is it a slippery slope, or hasn't it kind of been a little
it's only
fascist for a
it's
long
only a
time now?
slippery slope if you haven't slipped into it a long time ago. I was thinking the same thing. You're right,
Yeah,
but
I mean, I just had to think about it for myself. I'm like, okay, by the definition of fascism, as long as we're all going to work and doing what we're supposed to do, everybody's fine. The minute
mhm.
we're like, hey, this ain't right, maybe we should do something about this. And then that's when the police come and start busting heads. So isn't that kind
It's
of
more
like,
like the slippery mask of fascism slipping off. I don't know.
slipping off, like wearing its ugly head, and people
Mhm.
are coming more to the realization
What
that,
I've been hearing a lot in Canada is Canada's not the wonderful country it used to be. My Canada that I grew up with is unrecognizable. It's gone. It's like my response has always been, "This is the Canada that it always was. You just didn't recognize right. You didn't recognize your own country to begin with."
mm,
So it's kind of like I had this video I was going to play to begin my segments, Star Spangled Fascism, Extremists in the First Amendment from a PBS segment. And it's essentially his opinion is the same thing. It's when you ask how could like that expression it can't happen here because fascism's typically thought of as something like a European phenomenon or something, and then but the response from the historian is that it's always been here. If you just haven't read the history that teaches you about it, you are able to be aware to deceive yourself into thinking that America never had this kind of an element.
mm, yeah, it's been here because I mean, civil rights movement, um, BLM, the workers, the
Yeah.
workers movement, all of those things. Like fascism was like, oh, you need a little bit of fascism. I know how to get you back in line.
Mm.
Well, here you go. Boop.
It's like, oh, you think you have freedom? Well, let me
Yeah.
remind you what fascism is, right?
Let me remind you that you don't.
So maybe we should play a bit of that for now, and then we can have some
Sure.
commentary.
Oop, I'm messing up. I have one job to do, and I'm not doing it correctly.
Okay, I'm gonna hit play here.
Let's go.
I've come away with in the last 10, 15
Ooh,
years of studying this. We are the inheritors of George Washington.
The political historian Gary Gerstle once wrote about the divided character of American nationalism, right? That you see this tension between creedal, the sort of nationalism or civic nationalism around the American creed, and to sort of occupy the corner.
It's stuttering.
As you sorry, did you say something?
Yeah, it's stuttering. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll give it a moment, and then I'll hit play, and we'll see.
Okay.
Maybe I'll take the
Hi,
subtitles off.
Mastermind. Well, I'm going to read this while you give it a moment.
Sure.
When you legitimize the corporate state's illegitimate, rigged electoral process with your votes, rather than boycotting it on principle, you get oligarchy and fascism. So look in the mirror. That's
well said, April.
Well said. That is correct. And then Rondo says, for certain populations in the United States, this free Masonic experiment has always been fascist. That is true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fascism tends to not be so fascist to its own children, sort of thing. Interesting.
But it's getting more and more that way. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, nowadays we see it doesn't seem to matter even if they are their own children.
Right. Sort of some sort of identitarian nationalism. You mentioned that your area of specialization is the 30s, or sort of that's one of them, and that this is that the boom, as we're talking about, comes in this Great Depression moment, right? So are we more likely, and I'll open this question up to you as well, Marianne, are we more likely to see, or historically have we more often seen anti-Semitic, xenophobic, racist, or otherwise divisive political movements during times of economic or political strife? And if your answer to that question is yes, could you sort of talk a little bit about why?
The answer is it's always been here. That's my answer. And that sometimes it's more visible, sometimes it isn't. I'm doing a book right now that's a follow-up to Hitler in Los Angeles, and it starts in 1945 and explains how we got from 1945 to the Capitol riots. And as the epilogue of my book is titled, "We've Always Been Here," that this has always been here. This hate, this racism, this anti-Semitism, what we see is something maybe unique to our own times or unique to the Depression. Yes, it gets much worse when people are searching for scapegoats. When people's jobs, when their housing are threatened, they look for excuses. They look for who's responsible for all this. And it gets even more intense. But it is always there. It has never gone away. The minute World War II ended, the Nazi movement in America revived itself. The minute World War II ended, the Ku Klux Klan, that had gone on abeyance for several years during the war, held their first big cross burning in October 1945. Yes, they suspended their activities for a while, but they never went away. And frankly, they're never going to go away. These are parts of what it also means to live in a democracy, is to live with people who hate you.
So I thought that's a good spot to pause and comment, because to say that it will never go away is a little bit of a surrendering to fascism is an inherent part of humanity and will always be with us. And I don't quite agree with that.
He's kind of basically saying what when I asked you that question and we kind of rethought our title. He was basically just saying that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. Have we seen Après Coup in here before? Is this their first time?
Après Coup a few times. I've been seeing him more on Beyond the Arc, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome. Thanks for coming.
He's a bit more of a hardliner, very much against the electoral politics, which is perfectly I'd say potentially the
Understandable.
most reasonable position to be having. So
Right.
the reason why I don't play the lottery. So
The lottery?
the literal lottery. There's a reason why I don't play it. If the odds are astronomically against you, what's the point in wasting your money? So same thing with the
Yeah.
voting.
And the way they fed it to us was it was supposed to be the money was going to be used for education, but I don't really see that happening. So I'm wondering where all the money's going. But that's
Hmm.
maybe we could do that one show.
Yeah. Well, if the Pentagon could ever pass an audit, maybe we'd find out where some of the money's going and stuff. Right?
Uh-oh. You choosing violence today. Okay, so shall we get into I wanted to talk about the protests on campus a little bit. Um, you okay with that?
Sure.
And I also want to talk about Biden is going to be giving his commencement speech at Morehouse.
Hmm.
So some people aren't too thrilled about that. So where do you want to begin?
We could start with the Biden thing, I guess. Get it out of the
Oh,
way.
okay.
I just gotta check. I keep hearing some chewing noises. I'll just give me a moment here. Keep chewing. Oh my son.
That little puppy is gonna is
It'll be the
is
end of
really
me.
giving him a hard time, as he or she should, because it's a puppy.
I'm chewing on my old sunglasses here. Okay,
All right,
sorry for the distraction there.
no worries. So here we go. I couldn't find the original speech. So thank you, Mom. So oh, and Mom. Okay, never mind. I couldn't find the original, so I had to use Mark, Mr. Lamont here.
Plenty of alumni that probably want him there, knowing Morehouse as I do. But I know that enough people are saying no, that this is an issue. And so the students demanded a meeting with the Morehouse president, David Thomas. And the president, he met with about 50 students. And when he met with those students, he said, before going into the meeting, or his provost said going into the meeting, we're going to meet with y'all, but we're very clear that we have no plans on changing our decision. So basically, we'll talk to you, but Biden's still going to be the choice. I thought that that was a strange thing to do, but I understood that they had to kind of set their parameters before they go in. I'm still thinking maybe they'll be open to persuasion when they get in the meeting. The students explained their position. The Morehouse students courageously stood up and talked about the genocide in Gaza. They courageously spoke up about all the things they had issue with President Biden right now at this moment, and how it looked bad, how it disrespected the legacy of King, how it disrespected the legacy, I would add, of Benjamin Elijah Mays. This is a terrible choice. Terrible choice. Well, the president responds. President
Wait,
responds. I'm going to show you what he said, because
wait. I love that. You heard that chuckle?
It's just
So,
getting a bit choppy there, I think. But
oh, was it?
I don't
Oh,
know
what's
if
going
anyone
on
else in
today?
the chat can testify. It seems a little bit, not like not bad choppy. It's just a little bit glitchy.
Oh,
I need to
okay.
take my computer apart and clean the dust out of it. That's one thing.
He gave a little chuckle, right? I think this is too dark for me. I can't see. He gave a little chuckle, and so you know whatever he said is about to be some BS.
Hmm.
Well, this is an interesting little tidbit of information, Rondo. I heard that the president of Morehouse sits on the board of BlackRock, allegedly. I love doing my Wendy Williams allegedly voice. Okay, so let's see what he has to say.
what you see in this photo is the energy he had the whole time. Basically, like, I'm going to tell y'all what it is. Y'all going to deal with it. And that's that on that. And that's
Yeah.
basically how it went down. Here's what he said.
I also have made the decision not to reverse course for several reasons.
Can't quite hear him
Reverse
too well.
course, what I mean is withdraw the invitation to come speak at commencement.
You'll be able to put some subtitles on, maybe.
of the United
It's just
States.
his because he's
Record
speaking from the
may
podium.
be complicated, but I think his body of work over the course of 50 years actually merits the recognition that comes from a Morehouse degree. He's in a particular moment now with these issues of Gaza, Hamas, Israel, but I didn't think that it merited revoking that invitation. I also don't think that the world will perceive it as Morehouse being complicit with the atrocities that the Israeli military are committing in Gaza. I don't think
Did you say it any slower?
And if asked, I am prepared to say that our invitation in no way is an endorsement of U.S. policy or strategy at this point in the way that they are engaging with Gaza.
The man said that.
Okay. I mean, how is that not an endorsement?
Is
How?
you can maybe in his mind he can maintain his belief that it's not an endorsement, but it doesn't necessarily matter when you're a public institution like a university. There's going to be a wide variety of opinions about what your endorsements are or are not. And when there's so much legitimate protest against Genocide Joe, when you go around giving him awards and or refuse to take them away when people are asking you to, you are fully aware that this is a pressure point that you refuse to move on, meaning you have to pick a side because you're kind of being asked to. And by not refusing to take down the endorsement, it's a de facto endorsement. This is how I see it. Yeah.
Right. Tasmit says taking a stand for absolutely nothing, highlighting Crime Bill Joe. Exactly. And then John says his body of work is he's a criminal. He's an absolute criminal. So what is complicated about that? That's like they say complicated. That's they use that to describe things that they know aren't right. Right? There's nothing complicated about this. We know this man is a white supremacist, warmongering, economic hitman.
Yeah.
See how easy it was to say that? It practically rolled off my tongue. Almost. I just can't. I can't believe Obama really cleaned up that demon's past deeds by making him VP, which I think was a nod to white America that Obama was going to uphold the benign neglect policy when it comes to Black people. And older Black people might be okay with this, but and some younger bourgeoisie as well, as Apricu pointed out, Mark Lamont. But I mean, that's about it. That is about it. So,
saying, "Come on, people, stop this captured electoral politics revolving crap." I understand it can be frustrating hearing so much coverage of the election stuff if we're not really trying to support it, and it is probably a tactical error, strategic shitty choice to whatever to be putting all of our eggs in one basket of electoral politics, and then we're squandering the time we have available to point people into another direction. So I hear you. I hope that other people, if they're going to be criticizing your point of view here, they have a solid counter argument, because if you don't have a better argument, why are we fighting people like Après Coup on this? We shouldn't be.
No, he's just. Is it? Is it a he? Après Coup?
Yeah, I'm
He's
not
just
sure.
a hardliner. They are a hardliner. Let's put it that
He's
way.
a revolutionary. He's ready to stop it with a reformist attitude.
Right. Those who have endorsed Obama, Bernie, AOC, West, and Jill Stein are the closeted shysters in this miserable taboo. Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, they're
Well,
not
it's like
wrong.
with Cornel West. Before things, at the very beginning of the race, when I first heard about him, I'm willing to have an open mind about maybe he's going to be a bit different. But once he starts to replicate the Bernie Sanders pattern, it becomes extremely important to stop having wishful thinking and to commit to some better path before it's too late. And then, so
Correct.
this better path seems to have been offered as Jill Stein, and I'm, being a Canadian, not quite. I'm a little bit more. I don't have a dog in that fight, sort of thing. But I do not really feel like supporting the Green Party in Canada here. There's the same similar eco-socialist attempt to take over that party, and there's the capitalist resistance within the Green Party. And so it seems like a lot of wasted energy to try and take over and co-opt a party that is maybe designed to steal away your revolutionary energy indefinitely. So,
Right. I got my wine delivered.
nice.
I'm ready to go now.
Need a break from the alcohol today. I'm not getting enough sleep in this building on the nights I'm drinking, because there's managed to finally get these locks on these doors taken care of, but out of spite they shut the hot water off for the last week, and there's a crazy drug addicted squatter in one of the rooms upstairs who assaulted someone in the restaurant across the street a couple days ago and hasn't been arrested for it, and is still making psychotic banging and screaming upstairs, and no one wants to deal with it. So it's just, I would like to have a drink about that, but I can't drink myself to death over it. So
Okay, well I'll have a sip for you.
there you go. So I got my coffee. So.
Cheers.
Here it is.
Here we
Right
go.
now, I'm being told that we need to use our platform as Morehouse men. Why are we using it to support someone who hasn't been supporting Palestine and Gaza and things like that? How are we being global cosmopolitan citizens? What precedent does that set for freshmen?
There's a possibility of a genocide happening. And we're seeing our government continually sending more and more weapons, 2,000-pound bombs that are being dropped on whole neighborhoods, schools being destroyed, hospitals being destroyed.
You can tell what's happening, man. Children.
If you're a business owner,
Come on.
then animated explainer videos
Turn that
are the
down.
best way to capture attention. Get more followers.
I'm not paying YouTube. Okay, here we go.
Never will I get free.
Innocent people being blown up, and you can see the videos, and you can't deny the video. And we don't condemn that. We say, well, the world might not see it as, oh, we complicit. You know, we see it as complicit. We the students telling you, we see it as that's being complicit. Do y'all see that as complicit? Yes, sir. That's complicit. That's complicit in genocide. Do you think it's a genocide or not? Let me just ask a question everybody wants to know. Do you think it's a genocide, or do you not think it's a genocide? What's happening in Gaza? Simple yes or no. That's all I want. Yes or no? Is it a genocide or not? Of your personal, professional opinion, as an educator, as a man in this country, what do you think? Are the people of Gaza being genocided, or are they not?
I'm not going to answer that question.
You're not going to answer that question, sir.
That is not after all this
You
time.
just-
I don't think you should take any moment to reply. You shouldn't have any hesitation whatsoever. You should know by now if your answer is yes or no.
Yeah, you just, by not answering the question, you answered the question.
So people think they can be neutral on a moving train, so to speak, you know?
Right. I just can't believe. Let me change this. I just cannot believe that he said that. Like, wow. I'm not going to answer that question. Somebody asked him, was he getting paid? And he had the nerve to be offended. I mean, we're trying to figure out. It has to be something, sir. Black man.
Yep. It's
It
really
definitely has to be
ridiculous
something.
how much people act like it's unacceptable to ask or be suspicious about whether or not someone is taking a bribe, because it's one of the very like probable things that's happening. It's not like it's very easy the way that they set up all the privacy laws and stuff.
Hmm.
So it's not paranoia. It's not conspiracy theory. It's
Right. So now
probability.
these students at Morehouse, they want the college to completely divest from any corporations that they have are affiliated with, that are involved in this genocide in any way, or in the war machine. Period. Full stop. So oh, let me let you hear this guy right here.
Regime. Respect.
Pull it back a little bit. See what he has to say.
Wish people speaking on an interview didn't have a mask on their face, but that's just a minor complaint. Go ahead.
Remember the '94 crime bill. We
Let me see. Did I go back far enough? All right, that's
not
good.
just about Palestine. We remember the '94 crime bill. We as Black people remember mass incarceration.
Damn right we do.
Ceasefire now. Stop sending weapons to a genocidal regime. Respect international law. And don't try to use us for political clout. We are not pawns. We do not wish to be a part of your campaign. And whether or not you are able to get elected is purely on you.
Now the group says at current, they do not have plans to protest at
Yeah,
commencement.
they don't have plans to protest at commencement, but that may change.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I love to hear people saying that now, about if you don't get elected, that is clearly your fault,
Yeah.
not ours.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Well, it's enough for people that really got to stop falling for that. If the Democrat Party loves to do the, if you don't vote for us, the other guy's going to win, so it's your fault. This lesser of two
Exactly.
evils. It's so transparent, and like if you do any kind of research whatsoever, you recognize that none of these people deserve your vote, and if they fail, it's because they're doing all kinds of fucking around and finding out with playing around with the voters, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, like
So
Abreu says, they want to treat you like an idiot. Treat them like the fool that they are. Who's the bigger fool, the fool or the fool who follows him? So
the fool who follows him. So this is a short clip. It's just some Morehouse students. So I just want to hear what they have to say and get your reaction to it.
We're going to allow this man who is complicit in genocide, who's funding anti-resistance efforts in Yemen and all those places. We're going to allow him to come here and basically desecrate our Morehouse name and tradition because we want the money and because we want our loans paid off. That's very sellout, and I don't like that.
I feel like a lot of people are taking this.
Wait. He said that's very sellout, and I don't like that. And coincidentally, here comes the sellout. So let's listen to this dude right here.
And blowing it out of proportion. I hear a lot of complaining, a lot of lamenting that he's coming to the school. People say he's just doing this to garner votes. My response to that is yes, obviously. He's not purely coming here for altruistic reasons to, spread some love and support for his Black brothers and sisters. I mean, he's the United States president, the current incumbent, and, it's an election season. Obviously, he's coming to garner supports and votes.
Originally, I was...
Homeboy said, I just want my degree and my job, and I ain't worried about nothing else.
He's using his intuition there. It's like, well, obviously, if people are being cynical and realistic, that people try and curry favor in election times, and so you shouldn't blame them for being whatever hypocritical and stuff. But what about your counter intuition there? You know, there's a little bit more thinking involved that this guy has totally stopped like 3 steps in.
Right, exactly. Homeboy he not into it. He said that's not my cup of tea, I guess. All right, let me keep going. This is the last one.
Totally against it. Still am totally against it. I don't know. I feel like there were so many prominent Black figures that were passed up that could have really reflected the Black student caucus and really have something to say. I feel like this is a political move. And I feel like if Biden was smart, he'd stay away from politics because people feel very strongly about what's going on with Palestine, Gaza, Congo, especially here on campus. So if he starts to talk about anything like that or address those kind of issues, he's going to open himself up to a lot of scrutiny and a lot of criticism that we here Morehouse students have for him.
And
Building your online business?
let me stop that. Hold on.
Go to Wix.com.
Sorry about that. He's right though. He's right. Because dude is definitely. I want to know who's going to write his speech because you got to tread on thin ice to write a speech that's gonna not make you be protested during your speech.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
mean-
I wouldn't even. I'd say mail my diploma. I'm not coming. Or if I came, I would have my back turned to him the entire time. So I don't know. Anyway, that's that segment of Morehouse. That president is losing a lot of respect, and you know how he said, "Okay, I'll come and listen to you, but I'm not changing it. But we're still doing whatever." Right? That's kind of fascist, right? What if the students are making really good points? It doesn't matter.
hmm Well, because they come with a prepared talking point, so if anyone in the audience makes a good point, they won't have any proper response because they don't think on their feet. They're only allowed to say what they've prepared ahead of time. So it's good that people try and come up with these gotcha moments where they ask these really perfect questions, but they don't really have as much of an impact as you hope.
Ay, ay, ay.
Apre
All
Ku
right.
has a question for us here, so let's just. He said,
Oh, okay.
have either one of you read Political Parties or The Iron Law of Oligarchy section by Robert Michel? No, I have not. I'll write
No, I
those
have
down.
not.
Maybe I can read those when I have a moment.
And then can you text it to me?
Sure.
Maybe Aproku will read a little bit of it on one of the shows.
He seems to have something he wants to say about it because this is many times he's mentioned this iron law of oligarchy, and there's some value to understanding these kinds of theories if you want to learn how to break those laws and move beyond the oligarchy. So,
Oh, he mentioned it in Beyond the Arc.
yeah, in other
Or
streams I've
they?
seen him
I should say
bring it
they.
up.
We don't
I
know.
have this I haven't really actually read what you're talking about, but I have read maybe like a Wikipedia page about what the iron law of oligarchy is, and it just seems to me like this learned helplessness problem. If you teach people that like human nature is inherently fascist, then even if that's not true, and we teach people these theories that says that these laws are unbreakable, then we are kind of teaching people learned helplessness. So that's my critique of that. But if I haven't read the actual source material, I'm being a bit of an idiot. So
Okay.
we got something we're going to move on to here.
Protest. So I just want to read this really quickly. The single largest sensible cohort in the U.S., mostly working poor and minorities, ceased believing that electoral politics will do anything for them, and so they stopped voting. Make them visible. Organize.
So stopping voting is the first part, and it's the organizing that comes with it, because most people seem to just become politically homeless and apathetic, and then ignorant as to what's actually happening because they consider it to be impossible to change.
So most people don't, a lot of people don't vote because no matter who's in office, a lot of poor people don't vote because no matter who's in office, nothing's going to change for them. So it's really mostly like middle class people and in the upper echelon that vote. And instead of our people in power asking why don't they vote, they don't care. They're just
Right.
going to deal with the ones that do vote and ping pong off of them back and forth.
Well, it's just
And they're
like the
both the same party.
it's just like the marketing of the demographics there, where they recognize the poor people don't have enough money that they're not even worth advertising to. So they promise in their political campaigns and platforms when if they do get elected, their promises tend to be more for the rich and the middle class because their votes seem to actually have more of an impact. So even if there's a bigger share of the poor people that they could appeal to, it's not worth it to them economically because even if they get those votes, they're not going to get the money from the votes that they want.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
Apricot says, no, 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 you have it all wrong. So if you get that book um, and read some of it, you could come read some of it on the show because I really would like to hear about it. But I have a book I have to read for my summer camp that I'm preparing. Reading Ernest Gaines. He does some short stories for teenagers. He's a black author and kind of before his time in his short story book because he had like transgenders in his book and um, was dealing with like real important topics for the youth. And we're taking the youth to the Ernest Gaines Writing Center for a field trip as well. So I have to read that first, and so I can speak intelligently with my kids. Um, so Michael, I'm gonna put that one on you.
Cool.
All right, let's move on to protests that have been happening and how people are responding to them. Change that. Do this. And we're off to the races.
We're learning new details about the outside agitators who are allegedly directing the turmoil at college campuses across America. Mayor Eric Adams says 40% of the protesters at Columbia University and City College caught up in that massive police operation were not affiliated with the colleges. The outsiders taken into custody include this man, Fernando Bobis.
Hola.
Far from being a student, he's a 42-year-old doctor. And this is 60.
Okay, my question is, so
Isn't
like
that
I'm
a
trying to figure out what their
respectable
point is.
member of the public? Like they just pulled out. That's like not a W. What they say, not the win you think it is. It's like
Yeah,
the
like
person who tried to slander as a horrible big terrorist threat is some doctor guy who's probably never broken a law in his life.
and to call them uh, agitators instead of protesters. They're just protesters. And
You know how a
they're
protest
really
works? When you want it to get bigger, you invite your friends and family, and you tell them to invite whoever will come with them, and that's how you get outside people. And it's part of the
yeah,
in group of the people who support your movement. So
they're really trying hard to discredit people who don't want to support genocide. Like dude's a doctor. He helps people for a living.
it's all good. They're picking their side. They're going on the wrong side of history, and history will
Yep.
judge them.
Yes, they
We
will.
see you, right?
Okay.
53-year-old lifelong far-left activist Lisa Fithian. She was quoted as denying she had any leadership role in the Columbia encampment that shut down the college. Absolutely not. It's actually quite absurd, she told the New York Times. But look, that's her, and she sure looks like she's giving advice at the encampment.
Okay. What's wrong with giving advice? She's older. She knows because she's probably, been protesting, has protested stuff in the past. So why I can't get advice from Auntie? That it
'Cause
makes no sense.
they gotta decapitate the movement. That's the whole, everyone loves the concept of leadership when we're talking about democracy. Elect your leader, elect your corrupt piece of shit here. But when it comes time to any other group chooses to have a leader that they choose to follow, all of a sudden they're not allowed to do that because we've already picked your leader for you. So.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, so let's keep going.
Just released body cam video shows sparks flying as cops use a power saw to cut through heavy metal chains locking the doors of the occupied building. After forcing their way through a barricade, there are chaotic scenes as cops confront the protesters and arrest everyone inside. The police action is triggering more mass protests. At Fordham University, students set up an encampment inside the lobby of the college.
This is the New York City Police Department. If you refuse to leave, you may be placed under arrest.
Cops moved quickly to break up the encampment, but there were tense moments as protesters outside banged on the windows.
We're not starting nothing with you guys, don't start nothing with us.
Here on NYU's campus.
Oh my gosh. We're just here to make sure we violate your First Amendment rights. So don't start none. Won't be none. Like, what the hell? Oh
Not the
my
brightest
gosh.
bulb, they don't. The cops are never the genius. They're all the C students and F students or whatever.
Yeah, I saw this video about this man said they wouldn't allow him to be a cop. He couldn't be a cop because his IQ was too high. Because he wouldn't be a follower because
Yeah.
his IQ was too high. I
This
was
is
like,
literally.
damn.
They would say I'm severely mentally ill, but this is the same thing as why I wouldn't be able to be a cop or in the military, because I may be too smart, too wise to their bullshit. So.
My goodness. Okay, here we go.
As another pro-Palestine encampment has taken over this entire area here with dozens of tents, and as you can see, some of the protesters even holding up umbrellas to block our camera's view. One thing's for sure, these protesters have no plans of going anywhere anytime soon. And this was the chaos at Portland State University in Oregon, running battles in the streets. President Biden spoke out about the nationwide protests for the first time, saying order must prevail.
Breaking windows, shutting down campuses, forcing the cancellation of classes and graduations. None of this is a peaceful protest.
They
They're really getting on my
just shut
nerves
down
about this.
classes for COVID and all that, right? And so
Yes,
there
they
is such
did.
a thing as a reason to shut down classes if it's important enough. Just putting that out there.
Look, this. They keep saying it has to be peaceful, but you keep sending militarized police to beat the people. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just.
There was already, like, the Palestinians did their march. I forget exactly what it's called. They did this march, a march of return or something, before the October 7th situation. Years before, they had thousands of people marching in front of the wall, trying to peacefully demand an end to the apartheid. That did not accomplish anything other than more deaths and misery and pain. And so by doing those steps, we have proven that a peaceful protest plays into the hands of the imperialists. They want you to peacefully protest to get nothing done so that we just waste the time that we need to save someone's life. So
Oh, we're gonna talk about that later too. Yes. Like. Okay. Let me keep going. Um. I'm almost done with this, and I know you want to show some things. I'm so sorry.
it's all good.
So how do I? Now this one, okay, it's like 5 minutes long. I kind of wanted to play the whole thing first, but maybe for the sake of time, I'll just go through and pause, like I've been doing.
Sure.
Okay, because I find it to be hilarious. So here we go. Let's watch this foolishness right here. I mean, it's Fox News. You know it's going to be crazy. I should have pulled up my Jesse Waters video. I forgot to pull it up. I mean, he has such a punchable face too, Jesse Waters. But anyway, let me play this and let's get into it.
Let's bring in a sophomore student at Cal Berkeley, Bears for Israel Vice President Sharon Knoffelman, and the host of Stackelbeck Tonight, Middle East analyst Eric Stackelbeck. Thank you both for coming on. I want to play a little sound. I'll go to you first, Sharon, because I want to hear what's happening up at Berkeley and what you're experiencing. But here's some sound of some college students around the country. Watch.
Engaging in genocide, violating the rights of the Palestinians.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
What's happening, Sharon?
Now, Michael, I was wondering if they had said from the river to the sea, but they cut it off. I'm wondering, I don't know, because if they did, they sure didn't want it to finish it on here. But then I'd be shocked because they like to use that as an excuse to call the protesters violent.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand what the river to the sea means. Yes, we do.
We can go around that circle again if anybody wants to, right? That from the circle or from the river to the sea comes from the Likud party, and it's more of a genocidal statement from the Zionists that has been co-opted, you might say weaponized by the Palestinian movement for the purposes of peace, because they're not using it to promote genocide. They're using it to promote this national liberation for self-determination.
Correct.
Right. So,
Correct. So that's a projection.
yes.
Just like when Black people say pigs in a, I just lost it. Pigs in a blanket, fry them up like bacon. I think that's how it. Yeah, I think that's how it goes. And they're like, "What?" Then
How violent.
they're trying to kill the police, and I'm like, "No, that means get all those police that are white supremacists and that are using bullies, just using their pulpit for power, because not all of them are white. They need to get the justice that they deserve. That's all that means. Or the South African song "Kill the Boa." Oh, they act like.
Also, scratch a liberal, a fascist bleeds. This is another kind of thing where that's kind of considered to be derogatory, defamatory to liberals. How dare you call me a fascist? But this, if you
I heard
understand,
that one. Say it again. Scratch a liberal.
scratch a liberal, a fascist bleeds.
Bleeds.
That's from the Black Panther Party, but they co-opted
it
that
is? Okay.
from. It's not originally from them. It actually comes all the way back from scratch a Cossack, a Tartar bleed, something like that. So it was like a slur against Russians by, I think, like French or some, I don't remember exactly, but Europeans. They were talking about Russians as if they don't qualify as Europeans. And so it's been over time. I was going to bring up, hoping that we'll talk about the snowflakes and the snowball's chance in hell, because these expressions, they change over time, and they're quite interesting, what they used to be. So,
I actually know about 2 or 3 men that were in the original Black Panther Party that I met in New York City. I should contact them and see if they want to come on the show. I never even thought about that, but that's a good idea.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's keep going.
XD said, sorry, real quick.
Said
it came from Napoleon. That quote. Sorry.
It came from where?
Thank you, XD. From Napoleon, the quote about.
Okay.
I should look up specifically. So since we're live here, I don't want to be so sloppy about it. But what the hell?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, never mind. I'm getting a weird phishing thing popping up.
Oh, okay.
When I just
I'm
try
gonna
to.
I'm gonna keep going in the show. I mean, in the
Yeah.
whatever this is.
Berkeley, and are you concerned for the safety of your fellow students?
Well, I think today America has a choice to make. It will either allow the fostering of an environment on our campuses that's akin to Nazi Germany in the late 1930s, or it will reflect that it's learned from history and will never allow it to repeat itself again. I think what's most upsetting is the apathy we're being seen.
Hold on, girl. We're repeating it now. I mean, we're literally funding Nazis in the Ukraine. And America's funding the state of Israel that is displaying Nazi-like behavior. So, yeah, I do agree with her on this one. America has some decisions to make. So I can't believe I agree with her. We certainly do have decisions to make. And we're not making the right ones. But
Decisions,
we usually don't.
promises.
We usually don't. All right.
Repeat itself again. I think what's most upsetting is the apathy we're seeing from our administrations across America's most prestigious universities. Yep. Now more than ever, as Jewish students are being targeted, we're being physically assaulted. I witnessed my friend getting spat at, called a dirty Jew. I saw a girl get violently strangled at one of our events this past February that we held on campus, to the point where they shattered the windows of that hall. I think...
Wait. Did you see that? That girl's lying through her teeth. She had to look away from the camera. She knows she's lying so hard. Hold on.
The windows of that hall. I think.
And she had to like get the knot out of her throat. I mean, they act like they are in so much danger when actually protesters, they've been praying with the Jewish protesters that are protesting the anti-genocide. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let's keep going.
The United States has a decision to make about whether or not it's going to be on the right side of history. And first and foremost, that starts at our most elite, prestigious institutions here.
Yep. And I think you're exactly right. Eric Stakelbeck, to you, because you talk about some of the politicians propagating this. I want to play some more sound.
Just because we were talking about those other expressions. We were using this a few times on this stream about picking the right side of history. And so she's using, that's actually a quote that comes from Marx. Marx is the one to have started that idea about what is the right and wrong side of history. And then now they're using it without, probably completely ignorantly. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that in.
I mean, it just amazes me that they think they're on the right side of history.
Yeah.
Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe their brain, maybe they're just using their lizard brain. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Because it's instructive of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez praising the Columbia
Apraku, this one's for you.
Protesters.
It is especially important that we remember the power of young people shaping this country today, of all days, as we once again witness the leadership of those peaceful student-led protests on campuses like Columbia, Yale, Berkeley, and many others.
Do you think, Eric, that she's trying to stir things up or just doesn't really get it?
I think she's trying to stir things up, and whether she knows it or not, Trace, she is an accessory to evil. I don't say that lightly.
Oh, you can say that again.
Came in swinging. And again, I agree with him. I've agreed with both of these people.
On this particular point.
It's like I keep agreeing with them, but not for the same reasons.
I was just gonna say.
Ooh, he came in hot.
Well, broken clocks,
we're
right?
Seeing unfold on the
Say again.
Broken clocks, right? Twice a day.
Right.
These college campuses is pure evil. There's really no gray areas here. And listening to Sharon, my blood is boiling. It's 2024. We are seeing scenes reminiscent of 1933 Germany. That is not an exaggeration. In terms of being peaceful, what? Peaceful like the protest, the largely peaceful protest of July 2020, August 2020? I don't think so. Does anyone doubt that if these pro-Hamas, that's what they are, pro-Hamas terrorist sympathizers were able to get their hands on a Jewish student, they would do bodily harm. And by the way, Trey.
Now look.
Okay, sorry,
I
that's a
thought.
logical fallacy. You go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was saying that one is called denying the antecedent, where he's saying if they got their hands on these students, they would do this. But it's a if P then Q is how they refer to it logically, where it's a fallacy because if they don't get their hands on them, they won't do it, whatever is the implication, but it's not necessarily true. But that's my little my rant from logic, whatever rhetoric class.
I took logic in high school, so I had to write that down because I'm like, oh, I remember that, but I need to look this up and just refamiliarize myself with that concept.
This
Mhm.
fallacy is everywhere. I'm sorry, I see it all the time now. But yeah,
So
it's that slippery slope bullshit. Really, it's saying if we let these protesters continue what they're doing peacefully, at some point it's going to slip into violence, and it will be our fault because we let it happen. This is lies and requires the fallacies to do it. So
I have to say something. Okay, well, first off, bad cookies. I thought this was hilarious too. He says that woman wearing the coat made out of a picnic blanket.
I
She's
missed
pretty.
that. That was
She
funny.
is pretty, but like the coat, it looks
This girl.
like really old timey, and I think they did that on purpose for this show. But he also says, "Oh my, Abby do got the box wine on ice today. I don't drink box wine. I can't stand it. I'm a huge wine snob. So yeah, I even went to Paris for the wine. I'm a huge wine snob, and I like ice in my red wine. It I don't know, it does something with the tannins. It just tastes a lot better to me.
I don't like
And
drinking
a lot of people in
either
Paris
wine.
do. You don't like
Red or
wine?
white. All my wine, I put ice in it now. I can't do it otherwise.
Yeah, a lot of people in France put ice in their wine. It's not uncommon. Um, it's just not really heard of here. Oop, in my high school.
Yeah, they didn't exactly teach that
Oh
for
yeah,
me.
yes.
That's something I taught
I went
myself.
to I went
Yeah.
to I went to the magnet school here, so that's the reason why we had that type of class. And it was a really good class, and I wish they would have taught us. I didn't take Latin. I wish I would have because um, then I'd be able to decipher words more easily than having to look them up all the time. So yeah, that's my little rant about that. And Todd Smith, because Todd Smith is in the same city as me, she's probably right there in the other room. One thing I could say is that is not box wine, because she's the one that brought it to me, so she knows. Um,
Well, I think
okay,
after I
so
got a good comment here, we should. He
okay,
says, perhaps we ought to discuss the state of socialist parties, including Marx's own SPD, which have been spearheading neoliberalism and imperialism in the EU.
mhm.
Yeah. This is where I was thinking when we recommend to stop supporting the duopoly and vote for a third party. I think it's a little bit too generic advice, a little bit too wide. You need to kind of narrow it down, and we need to have a third party specifically that we vetted that we feel is worth pointing people to. And I think if we're gonna do that, we should be pointing them to a socialist or a communist party. And when we get into that discussion, we recognize that there's a whole bunch of these pseudo communist, fake, whatever, COINTELPRO communists, right? So
Yeah, and
we do
every
need to
coup,
determine which party to recommend.
and you see our handles. So if you have any suggestions, you could just DM us and give them to us, and we'll put them on our list for sure.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to say while I pause this here is the way he was talking, like the protesters are extremely violent, and if they could just get their hands on a Zionist, they'll beat them to a pulp and all that crap. Juxtaposed to this video of the NYPD basically beating anti-genocide protesters. I think it's hilarity. Oh my gosh, I thought that was so funny. Like, who is your producer? Because this isn't giving what you wanted to give, baby. Okay, so let's keep going.
It starts with the Jewish people. It never ends with the Jewish people. Look, they were also burning American flags at some of these protests in New York City. And as a Christian, I won't remain silent on this. I'm going to make my voice heard, and millions of Christians around the world will now, unlike, sadly, in the 1930s.
What's up with this flag worship, man? It's just, it's too much. It is too much. And then he's trying to weaponize his Christianity. It's just.
I never liked flags. You know, I find them interesting as a research topic, but it's a weird thing people like to fetishize over.
Yeah,
I find
it's a
it
weird
funny
thing.
those people who put the flag on, wear it like a superhero cape. There's definitely some kind of strange, like
It's a
fetishization.
kink or a fetish or something. Yeah, and dude, the Second World War started in 1939. So what are you talking about?
And then there's those paid actors, remember? So you think maybe the plant, the officers, psyopers would be more willing to wear a flag as a cape kind of thing? Or wear that, whatever, that Viking helmet guy, I forget, was the shaman?
Isn't he
Is that
like a
guy a
Marxist?
plant?
Isn't he kind of a Marxist though, or something?
I don't even know. But then how many of these Marxists are LARPers? Or, you know, there's... And the thing about infiltrators is it doesn't maybe matter if there's a big enough movement. They're not really going to be able to steer things anywhere. That kind of gets forgotten.
Yeah. Okay. That's just making me think of John Fetterman. He loves to drape that Israel flag over him, and it's just weird. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
I think that's right. Here's a Columbia student, and I wonder if you agree with her. Watch her, Sharon, and I'll get your take.
We've been calling this out for 6 months now. We know that these are anti-Semites using anti-Semitic
Since the
rhetoric.
October 7th attack.
Since the October 7th attack. Since the first set of protests on October 12th.
Arab
And now we see what
Semites.
happens when you don't shut down anti-Semitic rhetoric and you allow these people to feel entitled.
I mean, Alicia is right. They feel entitled. What do you think, Sharon?
Michael, do you feel entitled? Because I know I do.
I feel entitled to a whole lot. We want the whole country, remember? I don't want just a little bit. I want the means of production.
That's right. That is right. I feel entitled to live in a society where people don't displace you because they can. I feel entitled to health care, clean water, healthy food, good education, housing, a livable wage. I mean, I could go on and on about what I feel entitled to.
Yeah.
So you're damn right I feel entitled.
But what is it again they like to throw in your face every time we say that life's not fair? Well, if that's the case, then what are you going around acting like you deserve all this extra shit? Because life's not fair. But it's not what you're trying to say when they're saying that, is it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, let's keep going.
Well, I think we need to ask who is sponsoring these organizations? Who's allowing student organizations such as SJP to feel so comfortable to be able to hold our campuses hostage to their violent, anti-Semitic, anti-American rhetoric, and to go so far as to spread this ideology across the United States? And I think, as Eric mentioned, this is a symptom of something greater.
Okay. Again, what she's saying is not doesn't match what's happening over here.
I notice how they use this contagion language, you know, like if we don't staunch the spread of communism immediately, the contagion threat the virus will make its way around the world, the thought virus. And this is very revealing of that imperialist logic of, you know, about the contagion threat. It's the same thing about how, if you want to get into the germ theory stuff, maybe there's a contagion of like ideology as far as vaccines and stuff. So I'm kind of like losing my thought process here a bit, but I'm saying it's no accident. It's a spread, you know.
Yeah, they don't want that. It's basic. So that's you're saying that on a micro level, but on a macro level, that's what America does, right? Like if socialism is so bad or communism, why won't you let it fail on its own in all these other countries? Why do you have to intervene?
Or if the immune system of the capitalist system is so robust, it should be able to fight off these infections of whatever feckless protesters. You know?
Yeah. I just thought it was so funny that homegirls up here talking about the violence of the protesters while the video is showing protesters just chilling, being peaceful. Like, I don't know. You know what it reminds me of? D.L. Hughley said once, the worst place for a black man to live is in the imagination of a white man's head.
That's interesting.
Isn't it though?
Yeah.
I might not have, I'm paraphrasing, but it's kind of what's happening here, right? The worst place for a non-Zionist, well, I don't know how to phrase it for them. An anti-genocider to live is in the head of a Zionist. Oh, okay, so here we go.
I think what's
really
happening is that our American values, our morals as a country are being attacked and infiltrated with pro-Hamas, pro-terrorist sympathizers. And if universities such as UC Berkeley and Columbia don't act now, we are going to be in grave trouble.
Yeah.
Look, our American values and morals are being attacked. And thank goodness that is a good thing. Because what we value and how we define morality is not acceptable. So it needs to be attacked. It needs to be burned to the ground and start over. So completely. Yeah, completely.
100%.
Yes, 100%. So this is almost over. Okay, I probably won't stop it anymore. Let me see.
Yeah, I got to go, Eric, but I just need 10 seconds for you to wrap us up here.
We need to shine a light in this darkness, Trace. These are not peaceful protesters. When they were cheering the Iranian attack on Israel last weekend, let's call it for what it is. We don't have to accept this. Not in 2024.
Okay. I have enough ice. I just want wine. Yeah, thank you. So, hell yeah, we were cheering on the attack because Iran put you in your place and let you know that you can be touched. So you best go sit down somewhere. So yeah, we cheered it. I mean, I know I did. And look, we will accept this because it is 2024 and lots of truths are being revealed. A lot of people are being exposed. So y'all need to get in line. And if you want to blame anybody, blame Cat Williams.
For a lot of people feeling like this truth's relative and nothing's really being exposed here, whatever, just wait. Okay, the next few years, all this stuff's not going away anywhere. You know, the internet never forgets. So, you know, it's all going to be, maybe people will debate and discuss what it means, but the truth that's coming out now is historic and will be discussed for the next 50 years and more. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It sure will. And then somewhere along the line, it's going to get whitewashed.
Yeah, well, whitewash reminds me of a video there I got of some protesters at another university getting painted over. They'd painted a Palestine, pro-Palestine message on a mural, and there was a contractor was hired to whitewash literally the message, and the protesters stood in front of the message and were spray painted in the face. So.
That is perfect. I'm going to finish playing this, and you could play that, because that's all I was going to play. I was going to show where the violence really seems to be coming from. So that's perfect. So let me just finish this, and then we'll you can start revving up your video.
Yeah.
Is that a net?
Eric Stakelbeck, Sharon Knopfelman, thank you both for coming on. We appreciate
Oh,
your
that's
time.
it.
Hey, Sean Hannity
Okay,
here.
sorry.
Hey, click here
Oh,
to
we're there now.
subscribe to Fox.
We're already there. If you're not ready, I could just show
No,
one of mine.
It should only take a moment here.
Okay,
Let me
this is
just
just
call it up.
a minute and 22. Oh, you got it. Okay, great.
Yeah, there we go. Just start it over here. Noise is a little annoying, sorry.
Thank you. Taylor's giving me a new hoodie. These dummies.
Look at that. That cannot be safe.
Oh, yeah, y'all. It's all good, y'all.
Intimidated by a crime. Intimidated by a painting.
I wonder why he didn't spray the last dude. He must have felt bad.
Yeah, that basically.
Going wrong. Thank goodness they had the mask. Thank goodness. Wow. That's crazy. Wow. Okay. So now let me add mine. So who's the violent ones here? I know he didn't say what I think he said. Now look at this, Michael. Someone
used. The plywood is being put
Hey,
back up,
sorry.
but
Can you hear me
occasionally
there?
you see somebody try and
Yep.
either pull it down.
All right, I just need to go help someone in the. I just need to go help someone in the hall real quick, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Look at that. Look how dangerous that is. The anger. Ugh. I hate when they do that. Look, I hate when people start saying, oh, I could just let this play. When people start saying, USA, USA, I hate that. It's just, it gives off douchebaggery vibes. I have a friend who was like traveling through, let me take this off.
This
Traveling
AI
through,
tool will take your idea and create a complete book.
get out of there. Okay. Traveling through Europe. And he's on like this bus with a bunch of other tourists from varying countries. I think it was like some what do they call those? I can't remember. He's a photographer, so I think he was like going on one of something. I'm just going to say excursion for lack of the proper term. And so they're on the bus, and the different groups from different countries were singing like their national, whatever, positive songs, camaraderie, yada yada. And the people from the US didn't really know what to do. So they just started going, USA, USA. And he was like, I almost melted in my seat, like from secondhand embarrassment. Because everybody's looking at them like, what is wrong with you? So when people ask him where he's from, he would say, New Orleans. He didn't even want to. He didn't even want to claim the United States. He just New Orleans, because he said, I know people come from all over the world to go to New Orleans and New York City. So I know they would know I'm cool if I just say New Orleans and let it be. So you guys are I'm far behind in the chat. I see you guys are having a little good time.
Okay, hi.
So you missed my little
Sorry.
story. I'll tell it to you later.
All right, sure.
Oop,
Just had to
really like
help
it.
somebody move a patio set, or whatever, up the stairs. Big
Oh,
heavy box.
okay. So here's another one. So I was showing a video of them shooting fireworks into the anti-genocide protesting camp, which is very dangerous.
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone got hurt. So look, this is a dude. Look at this. What this guy is doing. Let me make this big for you.
Go. This America. Back the fuck up. Say something. Say something. Yeah, it's right. It's America. Back the fuck up. You fucking pussy bitch. Go back to Palestine. Go to Palestine. That's what we're trying to do, you piece of shit. That's what we love to do. We love to. We love to. We love to. Yeah, no, it's not.
I've seen this video.
Go around the back door. Like, go, you want to fucking come here, right? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I swear, say something. Yeah, you faggot piece of shit.
Homophobe
too. We love it. We love it. LAPD not doing shit. Amanda's assaulting students. Look at you. Amanda's assaulting students. Amanda's assaulting students. What the fuck are y'all doing? Y'all sit here and record. What are we paying y'all for? What do I taxpayer money?
Now,
just wondering. You're still fucking standing there. That man's walking down the street. He's strolling down the street. Y'all fucking standing there.
So I guess there's nothing wrong with people assaulting those officers standing with the phone, clearly, because a person can assault someone right in front of them and they're not going to do anything. So clearly they think it's fine if someone assaulted them, right? No.
Now
Anyway.
that older gentleman with the I think it was lime green safety jacket, he's actually just a parking ticket person. He's not like he's older. It's really not anything for him to do.
Right.
So I'll give him that. And the other two, I'm not really sure. I was trying to look at the uniform to see like what type of authority they are, because that's not how the police.
Yeah, they look more like security guards at most. So it's
that's not how police dress.
Security guards are paid for security kind of thing. And there's
but you see that the dude has brass knuckles on, and he's approaching people, telling them like move back. Like, you approach me, dude. What are you talking about?
See, I don't know about the laws in the States, but in Canada, you're not allowed to go in public with brass knuckles or a knife or anything like that. It's just illegal to carry it. So that's.
And then this is Berlin University. So
Yeah, just like XD saying, they still stood by and watched and did nothing, not even out of common human decency. It's got nothing to do with being a cop. If I think there's laws about if you're a citizen and you witness a crime, you're supposed to report it or like try to prevent it, kind of thing. Nobody really has any obligation to follow that kind of a rule. But in general, I appreciate the sentiment behind those kinds of laws, where it's you as a human being should have a responsibility to someone else. If you witness their distress, you don't act on it. There's something maybe wrong with you. You have done something wrong by not doing something. So. Sorry to rant.
No, you're fine. No, I appreciate that rant because I got, you remember that error message I kept getting last week and I kept having to stop sharing and reshare? I got it again, so I don't know what that is. But I think my audio wouldn't have worked. But anyway, this is Berlin University, and look at these police. They look like rabid dogs. The way they rushed in to just start beating people. Like, what?
They train them.
Actual hell.
They're not really thinking for themselves. They're doing exactly what they were taught to do, and they're just when I go to work and I just like like muscle memory. They're doing exactly what they were taught to do. So they don't have to think at all.
You know, I'm starting to wonder. This is a conspiracy, but I'm starting to wonder if police actually make what they claim they make. Because ain't no way. Let me change this. It's just like ain't no way that they're a part of the working class. And they do so much to protect the ruling class. Like the cognitive dissonance, it doesn't make sense to me. They are enforcing and doing the bidding of the ruling class.
You can't say that to them. They can't get that through their head apparently, or they're so they play dumb so well. I've tried this before, right? You explain to the cop, you guys are protecting private property, right? You're not actually protecting citizens, right? And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
Oh, you know what
You're a waste of time to talk to. You're a child. They call yeah, whatever.
And the NYPD gets as much funding as some nations. Let that sink in real quick. So they can do this to us when we rise up. They can do this.
Yeah, the Israeli trained police, the IDF trained police, IOF.
We could have a mass protest for healthcare, and the police will show up, beat us upside the head, send us to the hospital. Dude, I don't have healthcare.
Now,
You just
on the other hand, as far as saying like maybe protests aren't very effective, I did find it's from the CSIS, whatever, Center for Strategic and International Studies, like propaganda think tank. But it's an article talking about the age of mass protests, understanding an escalating global trend.
Before you do it, I just have one last one before you do it. And I've been holding this one because, okay, I have to. It's just relevant to the protest, and then I'm gonna let you take that over. And I think I have to do this first. Oh, wait a second. Okay, good.
It's muted. Here we go.
And if you're not familiar with him, you might recognize him a little better in this video. So JP decided he was going to make monkey noises at a black woman. And then when people recognized him and went to his social media, he doubled down. And then when people said they're going to contact the school, he started crying and then deleted all his social media. This is an iconic photo of one member of the Little Rock Nine. And as you can see behind her, people are yelling, screaming, hooting, making monkey noises, all sorts of stuff. That's what they dealt with in 1957. Some of these kids today are carrying their grandparents' and great-grandparents' legacy right now. And you can see it very prevalent in today's society. So when they try to tell you racism doesn't happen and kids nowadays don't see color or any of that nonsense that they spew, remember JP here. Remember he decided he was going to make monkey noises at a black woman.
Okay. So I wanted to show that.
So this is
oh, there we go. I wanted to show that for about 3 reasons. Okay. Oh, Tasmit says every day at school. Yeah. My mom integrated our high school. I need to work on. I'm supposed to be doing a short documentary about that. I need to get on the good foot and start doing it. But anyway, the three reasons I wanted to show that. First, they look like goofballs out there. That dude was wearing like an American flag jumpsuit.
He looked like a hillbilly. Looks like he was trying to look like a hillbilly.
I want to make him even more famous. Say again?
Sorry. So he's missing his moonshine jug. That's all.
And the yes, exactly. I just wanted to make him even more famous in case you guys haven't seen him. Most importantly, I played it because I'm really tired of hearing folks tell Black people to stop talking about race. I'm really getting sick of it. Like, they act like we're in this post-racial society, and then they quote the feel-good MLK quote that they've hijacked because they don't know anything else what MLK had to say. Because if they did, they would shut their mouths. But that's why I wanted to show that one. Yeah, because that was like totally uncalled for. And they were calling her Lizzo, I guess because she's, she got a little meat on the bones. Ain't nothing wrong with a little meat on your bones.
No. No.
So anyway, that was it. So I'm gonna pass it over to you.
Sure. I should have maybe had my thing called up here. It'll only take a moment here. Yeah, I just wanted to. I was wondering if protests. Cause I knew that protests were getting more and more popular, but I was wondering if there was any kind of statistics sort of thing to tell us like how much more protests are happening these days. So
Yep.
can we see this here?
Okay.
Cool.
I'm sorry that's happening to you, Todd Smith. Just wanted to say that. Solidarity to my sisters in the workplace.
Solidarity. I was just saying, so this is the age of mass protests, understanding an escalating global trend. So it says, we are living in an age of global mass protests that are historically unprecedented in frequency, scope, and size. Our analysis finds that the mass political protests that have captured media attention over the past year, such as those in Hong Kong and Santiago, are in fact part of a decade-long trend line affecting every major populated region of the world, the frequency of which have increased by an annual average of 11.5% between 2009 and 2019. The size and frequency of recent protests eclipse historical examples of eras of mass protests such as the late 1960s, late 1980s, and early 1990s. Viewed in this broader context, the events of the Arab Spring were not an isolated phenomenon, but rather an especially acute manifestation of a broadly increasing global trend. Analysis of the root causes of these global protests suggests they will continue and could increase in 2020 and beyond. While each protest has a unique context, common grievances overwhelmingly center on perceptions of ineffective governance and corruption. So revolution is here to stay.
Yeah, these global protests, like, I don't, well, my memory is kind of short sometimes, but the furthest one I remember is George Floyd. And now this is another global protest. So,
remember someone
thank
just the
goodness
other
for
day,
technology.
someone just yesterday, I think, mentioned that the Occupy Wall Street was like 26 years ago or something. I found that a bit hard to believe. I was like,
No, I was
no,
there.
maybe another first Occupy Wall Street was like 2011 or I don't 2008.
Yeah, because I was there, and so.
But the original Occupy, whatever that was a long time ago.
Wow.
And then, yeah.
I did not know about. Okay, so there's an original Occupy Wall Street.
I don't know. Now I'm talking about something that I didn't really prepare ahead of time. It was
Okay,
just
I'm gonna have to Google that. I'm gonna write that down.
But a lot of these protests are like it's for us. It feels like it's the first time, but if you look into the history, it's like the second or third iteration of this movement.
History repeating itself yet again, type of situation. So
bad cook. The only problem I have with protests is they haven't done shit since the 50s. Look at these college protests.
We're about to talk about that. Yep.
Just claimed it was. Yeah, this is why we talked about the poisoned well of protest in the title. Even if you want to protest, even if you're thirsty and you need to drink the water, if the well is poisoned, you're going to die.
Yes, September 17, 2011, Occupy Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mastermind. And I'm sure, well, for anyone that's new in here, Mastermind Hour, check him out on Sundays at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, at Beyond the Arc. So I have one more segment, and then I'm done. It is our good friend Morning Joe. Oh, that man is he has a punchable face too. That man is insufferable. Before I do that, I just want to thank everybody in the chat. You guys have hung out with us and stuck with us, even when we were having technical difficulties on our podcast. You didn't abandon us. You were patient, and we really appreciate you. So I just wanted to say that to you.
37 in the chat right now. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you're new here, don't feel shy about liking, sharing, and subscribing if that's what you wanted to do.
And our ex friends, our Twitter friend, I still call it Twitter, but whatever. We know you don't like to comment, but we still see you. It's actually more of them here than in YouTube, but the YouTube is going off. Bad Cookie says yes, he has a very punchable face. He does. It's like I shouldn't choose violence. Let me stop. Okay, so let me share my screen so we can listen to what this fool has to say. Uh-oh. All right. I have to stop sharing. You have something you want to share, Michael?
Well, I have a couple things, but as far as time, I'm probably gonna want to cut a few things. I could do like another little article thing, or I had a little video. Do we want a little bit more of some levity? Because I was watching Midwestern Marks earlier today, and I guess Eddie Liger and Noah Krachevik there had made some mock rap battle. Just a little fun kind of video, just to pass the time a bit. And so I thought, because a lot of no white people can't rap kind of thing, right? So it's the people are saying that Noah can't rap. So you guys want to see Noah do a little rap? Is anyone in the chat wants to let me know?
I don't think anybody doesn't think white people can rap.
Yeah, there's plenty of white people
it's just
rap.
That can rap. Yes, it's just.
I know I can't. I'm not gonna embarrass myself with that. So. It's like rapping's like dancing for me. It's something that I should be careful about.
I would love to see you dance. I would absolutely love it.
That's what they say too, right? White people can't dance neither. I'm certainly one of them who can't.
There are some that can.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I can't really dance that well. So
I gotta check out this Macklemore song or album or whatever it is. I've been hearing people are talking about him. But I'll call that up just for fun since I mentioned it, and then we'll see whatever else.
In Bad Cookies, G-Eazy, like he's like a Southern rap. I mean, the music is horrible. Not horrible in the message, but it's really good. It's really good to dance to in the club. He did a song with Cardi B. But go ahead.
Well, I had a. Oh, there we go.
Sean, you see that? He says, "Oh, come on, Kid Rock was a gangster."
Kid Rock is always a joke to me. There's that Ball with the Boss song when I was a kid I used to like, and then after
I did like that song.
Yeah, but then everyone has a good tune. We're a one-hit wonder, but then for some reason they stick around a lot longer than is necessary.
Now he's shooting Bud Light cans out. he's
just hit play on this.
Now he's grifting because he's shooting out Bud Light cans and talking about transgender people. And somebody pulled up a picture of him in the club drinking Bud Light with a transgender with a drag queen or a transgender person or something. A drag queen, because that's different from being a transgender person, of course. But anyway.
Yeah. I'm just gonna play this here. So.
Yep.
The Midwestern accent doesn't pair with good rap music.
Oh, we got a commercial coming. Let's see.
Yo-ho!
Start it over. Now I gotta find my spot. Stupid thing. Just bear with me here. Shouldn't take a moment.
It's okay. I'll read some chats because I know they are going crazy. Bad Cookie says he is playing the culture wars. Yeah, nonsense. Yes, he is. Definitely. Todd Smith says, I found out in the worst way that I have no rhythm.
I probably could learn if I just, like any skill, if you just practice, you get better at it. But then you got to get over the self-esteem issues first, right? So
Todd Smith's a good chair dancer, though. I know that for a fact. I do not drink barefoot wine. Let me tell you, wine is disgusting. Okay, I won't. What? Hold on, folks.
I'm just gonna hit play here then because I got it called up and ready now. So.
Yeah, go ahead.
That doesn't pair with good rap music, and I think that's
Right.
just racism.
Right, and they're just like, you know, here you go.
Should we watch it? Should we hear these bars?
Recently, Eddie tried to make some kind of a rap diss track about me, going off saying he was better than Kendrick Lamar, better than Drake, and even better than me, which is crazy. People tell me all the time that I'm not a rapper. They say, no, you're not a rapper. And I say, yes, I am a rapper. I am a rapper. Don't tell me I'm not a rapper. You're not a rapper. You guys are about to hear me rap right. Ready? Here we go. Here it comes. I am a rapper. Everybody told me to mess with Eddie Smith. He was the kind of guy I shouldn't mess with. They said that Eddie was all brawn and no brains. I know that guy and he even say my name. Seriously. Word with this guy make you cry. Like, how hard is that to pronounce?
It's skipping bad.
Ridiculous. Eddie is the kind of guy you go into that. Let me tell you just a little bit about that.
It's skipping, Michael.
Not only that, he was giving my cat drugs, exposing him to loud music that I do not approve of. What kind of horrible mom does that? I am a rapper. Stop telling me I'm not a rapper.
So that's it.
Oh, he
that kind of
can't
made my
rap.
day earlier. I was unexpected.
Oh, he cannot rap.
I was pretty sure it was a parody, right? So when you're trying to rap as a parody on purpose, then I thought he did a good job on that. Yeah.
And look, I had to jump up for my mom. You told me to wear what I wanted to wear, right? I have on pajamas. My little Batman. Wait, let me go back. So, Batman. It has footies and everything. I wanted to be comfortable today, so that's what I'm doing. Bad Cookie said those were bars.
Yeah.
Y'all want to hear some bars?
Asking me if I'm on the Wi-Fi. I'm on an Ethernet cable. I think I actually set it up so I'm on Wi-Fi and Ethernet. If that would work any better, I don't know if that works.
Sean. Bat Abby. Okay, I'm gonna play some bars, okay, for you. Before I move to this dude, I'm gonna play some bars. Now, I want to set this up before I play it. It's a rap battle, okay? And it's between a guy named Madface versus Prophet. And that's important because he uses like the other dude's name, Prophet's name, in his rap. So Madface and Prophet were both in the military. Madface jumped out of the military, so he's going to ether this dude in such a good way. So let's watch it.
Good.
I'm glad we both had our rap battles set up. I think Kendrick Lamar started something.
There's just something going on in these last couple of weeks. You know?
They not like us. They not like us. And Michael, did you know before I play it that both Kendrick Lamar and Drake, they removed their copyrights so creators could like play their reactions more easily and use the instrumental and everything. I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, okay, let me play that. Here we go.
Yeah, you fought for this country, but they trying to build a wall to keep the people that look like you out. A soldier from Puerto Rico rapping. I seen better fighting than people in Puerto Rico splashing. Right. And they can't be mad at me for it. Because he the one that work with the people with all the resources.
Yes, you do. You do.
Bro. I was in the Marine Corps. People ain't know that. But unlike you, I ain't proud of that. Uppity white people kept thanking me for service. I felt foul for that. I was running with grown-ass men who would drop a bomb where a child was at. They say they turned me to a man. It turns out that's where the cow was at. Nah, because niggas howling, God bless the troops while the Lord's watching. Like he don't notice your prophet and your prophet is your prophet. Boy, stop it. You don't even know how the war started. You just couldn't afford college. That's free money. Free money. Free money. He said it's free money. Yeah. Free money. He said it's free money. Because he couldn't afford college. I had the same dream as Martin. I woke up and absorbed knowledge. Acting like because they paying us well, the shit is fine. I realized I got enemies too. And I get held for killing theirs, but jailed for killing mine. Facts. I'm a man. I'm a man. What the fuck are you? At this point, a pawn without a fucking clue. Okay. I know. I did. Niggas finish high school and we don't know what to do. They got you thinking shit is going down and it's up to you.
Perfect. Is he gonna have anything to say back at all? He's in there.
They got you thinking shit is going down and it's up to you. I looked around and shit was so comfortable it made me uncomfortable. I mean, I take shits in clearer water than the water they put cups into.
Yeah, facts.
Their life, yeah, facts. Their life, that shit make a family in the projects look like the fucking Huxtables. It's pussy shit. Be all you can be. All it took was this. I had one option. I could go AWOL or I was just a bitch. And of course, they said I couldn't leave. That was so disrespectful.
And my nigga got the old.
All right, let him go. Let's go. It's over. It's over. It's over.
Look, need some water after that.
They said I couldn't leave. I said, well, why I'm about to leave then? Why I'm about to leave then?
Welcome back.
They said it's a big stain on my record. I said, I hope it sink in all over the sheet then. They said, think about your family, Cook. How you gonna feed them? I said, I thought it was once a Marine, always a Marine, man. So I've been E10 and I ain't even had to be an E10. You gotta take the Kevlar off to go this hard. Cause this dishonorable as soon as it discharged.
Go.
Time. Give it up. Continue to disrespect my heritage.
He ain't talking about nothing.
It's not your
Oh
heritage.
my goodness.
You're signing up to fight for the colonialist heritage. I wouldn't call that yours.
I'm not sure. I think he might have been talking about being Puerto Rican. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, he's the one disrespecting his own heritage in that case, which is the whole point of why he was bringing it up. You're Puerto Rican and you still fight for them? Enough said.
yes, he did, Bad Cookies. Yes, he did. Yeah, how can you be Puerto Rican and still fight for them? That's crazy. Like you can't even vote. What?
Yeah, free Puerto Rico, by the way, right? Puerto Rico deserves to be not a colony anymore either. Anyway.
Right. So so let me answer this. His answer back really he didn't really address it. So you could just Google on YouTube or YouTube Mad Face versus Prophet if you want to see the entire thing. But he didn't really address it. He was talking about something else.
You can address it. That's the kind of funny thing that anyone who supports the war machine, they may have some kind of words that come out of their mouth, but they don't have an actual rebuttal to our criticisms.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was good. That part where he said I was eating without being an E10, that slapped.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that reference. I'm a little curious.
So E10 is like a level in his military. So he was an
assumed
E10.
it was something like that.
Yeah, so he's saying I was because they were talking about how you gonna feed your family, if you leave. So that was his response to that. Another good one, Bad Cookies, is when he said, let me get it right. He said, I got enemies too, but I get held to kill mine, but get praised to kill.
I get held to kill their enemies for them, and jail to kill my enemies.
Yeah, exactly. Jail to kill.
That's an easy choice for anyone.
I can't remember what the rhyme was, but I get held to kill theirs, but jail to kill mine. But it couldn't have been mine because they had to. Yeah, mine.
Yeah,
so
because he's saying by
wrong.
killing my enemy's enemies, I will go to hell because they want me to commit such terrible atrocities. But
okay, so I'm glad you just said that. I'm sorry to cut you off because he didn't say HELL. I thought he said that too, but then when I put on the only reason I didn't show the one with the caps is because it was like 9:16 instead of widescreen. But he's actually saying HAILED, so I get praised because he was talking about how people are always saying thank you for your service.
That makes sense too.
Yeah, both of them. So that's also a double entendre because both of them would have worked. I mean, that's not a double entendre, but you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So anyway, that was fun. That was a fun
Yeah, your voice still. Oh, there's our videos back. Cool.
Well,
that might be our little our hint from the god, whatever the internet god telling us is that we time to wrap up.
Oh, you're tired. Yeah. You So
I was just
yes, it was
saying we were
solid.
getting glitches and we've been going for 2 hours. So.
It was solid wordplay. It really was. I mean, it was like on some Kendrick Lamar wordplay. I'm not gonna give him Kendrick Lamar totally, but
Yeah. So is there any announcements or anything we got for wrapping up?
oh, you're tired.
Well, we can keep going. It's just usually we tend to do like 2 hours, and then it's a little bit like not sure if we're keeping people too long.
Oh, look,
Chat room keep going.
Sabby's about to start, so people are going to be conflicted. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and wrap it up. I had a whole little next segment, but we'll just go ahead and wrap it up, you guys.
Yeah, it's all good. We
Oh, we
always
love
save
you
it for
too,
next time,
Sean. We
baby.
love you too.
Love you, Sean. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Yep. Thanks for being here. Do you have something you want to play on the way out?
Not necessarily. I just wanted to quickly share this.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do, Tasman.
Talk
We're
about
gonna leave them wanting more.
Palestinian resistance. Here, yeah. You guys probably already heard by now, but if anyone else is listening that hasn't heard yet, RBN will be doing a resistance summit on Saturday, June 1st and 2nd. So if you guys want to tune in, there'll be all kinds of, there'll be a marathon session. There'll be all kinds of great interviews. Jamu Baraka, Wyatt Reed, Aaron Mate, Max Blumenthal, Garland Nixon, Fiorella, Isabel, Lee Camp, Carl Jaw, all the good peoples. So it should be a great time, hopefully. Sorry, go ahead.
It should be. Oh, I'm sorry. And Mastermind saying Jill Stein is on Sabby. So yeah, it's really, you guys head over there because I'm sure like some gems are going to be dropped to help you make your decisions. I personally, Jill Stein is not the nominee yet. I personally prefer Jasmine. That's just me. But
I like Claudia Dela Cruz and some of those other people we saw in that debate. Yeah, third party.
I like Claudia Dela Cruz and Jasmine, but I'm leaning towards Jasmine. Hopefully, she'll get the nomination because they have more ballot access than the Socialist Party. So that's why I say that. And if you go on Jasmine's website, she really has. She's not just talking fluff because, oh, hi, Bryce. Haven't seen you. But Jasmine is really not talking fluff. She had policy solutions. If you go back and watch that third party debate that we covered, then you'll see that Jill Stein was doing like the regular politician thing, but she wasn't really talking like how I'm going to fix it. So I'm really not sure why she's getting propped up so hard. I wanted to ask Jasmine to come on the show, but there's no really real way to contact her from the website, so I wouldn't even know how to.
We'll see if we can figure that out somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just this thing about even if they're a good candidate and they say all the right things, they got all the right platform, people have this like learned helplessness idea that it's just never going to work. So even if it's the right person to support, don't support them because you might as well not vote, kind of thing. So if you might as well not vote, then what's the harm in voting for someone like this who you really do feel like supporting, but you know it's not really going to amount to anything? It's the same result. So go ahead and vote for someone like Jasmine. So
vote your morals and your values.
Yeah.
And if
one among millions. So
nobody's showing those morals and values, don't vote.
And if enough people start showing that example, then next 4 years from now, you people will have learned that there is now a new group of people voting for the right stuff. You just have to show the example.
And actually, let me correct myself. Still go vote if you're in a state that has write-in candidates. Or write somebody in and let them know I'm not playing this game with you.
And it's a good advice that people, I'm going to reiterate here, is that voting is only one small thing among many other things. Voting does not prohibit you from doing more organizing in the community in between your voting. So
I would advise to locally vote, like make sure you're doing votes locally and mutual aid. Make sure you're doing mutual aid. So Retro Gamer is he's over here multi-listening again. Okay, Retro, we're gonna go over to the Savvy Sap show. So I'll see you soon. Any other announcements?
raid. Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, sorry. Any other announcements? Because I think our actual summit is going for the chapter is going to start March 31st to the 1st, right? Did I say May 31st to June 1st, I believe? Or
We may
something like
have,
that?
there may, if we get enough invites for more interviews, we may expand to the third day of the 31st. But for now, it's just the Saturday and Sunday, I think, the first and second.
Thank you.
Thank you. So
You the best.
I was just thinking there's a protest, and I heard about Windsor in solidarity with Palestine. I might go check that out this week. Maybe cover that for next week. But I don't know. We'll
Take
see.
your camera, do some videos. Some interviews and videos if you can.
This is the thing.
I
I don't really have the right equipment. I can't really take a good video with just this.
Oh.
Like I've showed you videos that I've taken, but I can't really get good quality for the viewer.
With that.
So, just saying. Hopefully, one day maybe we'll be able to get some kind of financial support going over time. But
yeah, maybe we could do something.
Because I would like to get out there more in the community and just sitting at home.
Thank you for saying that, Tosh. Yes, we feel so much more comfortable. I mean, neither of us were podcasters. And remember that the first day when we had all those technical difficulties? It was horrific. But look at us now. How far we've come. How we've grown, Michael. Give yourself a pat on the back.
If anyone can do it kind of thing is like maybe an exaggeration, but like if we can do it, you can do it sort of thing. Don't expect that we're like some kind of superheroes over here. So.
Exactly. And if you want to, if you have any ideas, our handles right here. If you have something, if you're in some type of position that needs to be discussed, our handles right here.
If you hit me up on Twitter, I will try
We're welcome for guests.
Sorry.
Say again, Michael. I'm sorry.
I say if you hit me up on Twitter, I will try and boost what you want from me as within reason, kind of thing. So I do check my stuff every day.
That's true. Okay, so we should wrap it up so people can go on over to Savvy Sabs because people are still here. Thank you for sticking around. But we want you to go over to Savvy Sabs and listen and see what they have to say because we need to know what Jill Stein is talking about.
Yeah, not that we don't quite have a. Do you have a video to play out? We're out of videos, I guess, but we could just end with the music.
I have one. I could play one.
All right, cool.
So here we go.
Okay, have a good night, everyone. Thanks
Good night, everybody. See you on the other side.
Solidarity, free Palestine.
As many as 300 protesters were arrested in Brooklyn on Tuesday night, where thousands of mostly Jewish New Yorkers gathered for a Seder in the streets to stop arming Israel, they said. This on the second night of Passover. The demonstration was held at Grand Army Plaza, 1 block away from the home of Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. It came just hours before the Senate overwhelmingly approved a $95 billion foreign aid package that includes some $14 billion in arms and security funding to Israel. A series of speakers addressed the rally, including journalist and author Naomi Klein, Palestinian activist Linda Sarsour, and several Jewish students suspended from Columbia University, where students have held a Gaza solidarity encampment. These are some of the voices of the demonstrators yesterday, speaking at the Seder in the streets.
Tonight's Seder in the streets, which will be happening on the second night of Passover, which is a holiday we observe every year that is all about liberation and how our liberations are intertwined with one another, is coming just hours ahead of a likely Senate vote on $14 billion in military funding and weapons to Israel. So we're here to tell Senator Schumer that this is enough and we need to end U.S. complicity in Israel's genocide against Palestinians. And at the core of the Passover story is that we cannot be free until all people are free. And right now, what we're seeing is that the Israeli government and the United States government are carrying out a genocide of Palestinians in Gaza, over 34,000 people killed in 6 months, in the name of Jewish safety, in the false name of Jewish freedom.
Today, the most meaningful way we can possibly celebrate a holiday for Jewish liberation is in the streets protesting this genocide, because our liberation is tied together with Palestinian liberation. And honestly, I'm more moved than I have been in months watching young Jews get arrested alongside Jewish elders saying not in our name, as we have been for 6 months. And the Senate is still about to pass this massive funding package.
Happy Passover, free Palestine.
And now we are hundreds in the streets. People are taking arrests, saying business as usual will not go on. We are here at the doorstep of Senator Chuck Schumer. To the people in Palestine, we love you. We are with you. We are going to stop this U.S. funding so that you can fight for your own liberation. If you
do not move, you will be arrested.
Some of the voices at the Seder in the streets to stop arming Israel that was held at Grand Army Plaza on Tuesday, in the second night of Passover. Among those who addressed the crowd during the Seder was award-winning author and activist Naomi Klein. This is some of what she had to say.
My friends, I've been thinking about Moses and his rage when he came down from the mount to find the Israelites worshiping a golden calf. The ecofeminist in me has always been uneasy about this story. What kind of God is jealous of animals? What kind of God wants to hoard all the sacredness of the earth for himself? But there is, of course, a less literal way of understanding this story. It is a lesson about false idols, about the human tendency to worship the profane and shiny, to look to the small and material rather than the large and transcendent. What I want to say to you this evening at this revolutionary and historic Seder in the streets is that too many of our people are worshiping a false idol once again. They are enraptured by it, they are drunk on it, they are profaned by it, and that false idol is called Zionism.